You know what I was like during my glory days, do you?
Just give me a second.
I think we're still making good time. I think last time it took an hour.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. It
Oh
took an
yeah.
entire
we
hour.
we're in a better position.
Amazon.
What kind
Okay.
of hoodie you got on, Marcus?
You said what?
What kind of hoodie you got?
I got an Omaha hoodie actually from Skylar. You know Skylar?
That's dope,
Yeah.
Alex.
Oh my god.
You
What
look
are
like
you
that picture
wearing,
of R.
dude?
Kelly, dude.
I was about to say you look like R. Kelly.
Oh my god.
You're stupid.
Alex, dude. All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
Welcome back, niggas, to another episode of formerly known as Tapped In.
Hey Eric, you
You
should
know-
redo that.
All right.
You were too close to your mic and it was like
Was I? Was it really loud?
it was crazy.
All right, let me back up a little bit.
But I like the energy.
Welcome back to another episode of formerly known as Tapped In. We out here, we live, we're in the depths of hell, we summoning demons, we doing all types of weird shit. As always, we got our boy Marcus Murray, aka the Big Deuce, aka
Yes,
Lil
sir.
Bean, aka the Big Chalkboard. What's good, Marcus?
Hey man, you know I stayed chalky, you know what I'm saying? Big Deuce and let loose on the city, you know what I mean?
Let
I'm
loose.
wiping all these cars clean, dog. And that's it.
All right, we also got the chosen one, young Alex Riley.
Big do-rag energy, Alex Riley.
Big
Yeah,
do-rag,
you
what's
know what I'm
good?
saying? Protect your hair, young moisturizer. I'm out
Yes,
here.
sir.
We also have Davon.
What's up?
Dave Vaughn needs no introduction. Dave Vaughn, pod after pod, from the depths of hell itself, the light in the darkness. I'm talking tunnels, you know what I'm saying? Train in the headlights, deer and all that. Dave Vaughn.
Exactly.
What's
Yep.
good?
And today we got a special guest, one of our homies, young God, young Lord, young Savior, young
Big beard energy,
the
X
big
dub.
beard himself, young X
XTYB,
Dub, XTYB,
Yes,
heartless
sir.
filth. Hey,
What was it? Red something.
what was it, X?
What talk
Man,
talk
I
your
don't know. That was so long ago. I don't know, man.
This
What's good
nigga
with y'all
remember,
boys,
whatever.
man?
Good
Hey,
Lord.
what's good, X? What's good? Tell the
What's
people
good with y'all
what's
boys,
poppin'.
man?
Chilling, man.
And for those that don't know, I feel like me and Alex have known X for 20 plus years. That's
Yeah, for real.
20
crazy.
plus.
Yeah, it's
damn,
been a
that's
long
crazy.
time.
Like
Mhm.
I was in pre-K with this dude.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I
you
bet-
didn't know you was bringing a relic on the show, huh?
A relic,
You go way back.
man.
Yeah, we go way back, man.
That's right,
I
man.
feel it.
Big
Okay,
ups.
okay. Big up. Hey, as always, we got the gang here. We're discussing shit.
And we got
our
Eric
first top.
D'Andrew,
God, I always forget to fucking
father
introduce
of
myself
62 children.
and
Eric
counting.
said all of my kids, man, and counting. Yes, he got 2 buns in the oven, twins. You know what I'm saying?
Project twins. Y'all
Mr.
know what
Tagging
project?
himself.
Y'all know what project twins are? This is a phrase I've heard like recently, and it's
No.
basically when you have two women pregnant at the same time,
Oh
and
my
they have the
God.
baby at the same time. Those are
Hey
called
man,
project
do
twins.
That
we need
sounds
to bring that
horrible.
energy to the pod,
That
man?
sounds terrible.
We talking music, we talking nerd shit,
Ah,
and you gotta bring in the. All right,
welcome to the depression
talk
hour
your
with
shit,
Eric.
Eric.
The depression hour.
Here
Oh,
we
God.
go.
A callback. Look, we have callbacks now. We have inside jokes. You know, we're a real podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we are, man.
All of our thousands of listeners know, and they're waiting for these things. Rihanna, she listens. You know, she listens.
You said the
Rihanna
name of the
said,
pod?
What you said? What, Davon?
Did you say the name of the pod?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
but
I said it
you
in the
fucked it up
intro.
though.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you
Podcast.
did.
What?
You didn't even say podcast. It's podcast formerly known as Tapped In. You said you
Formerly known
jumbled
as
it.
Tapped In. I just said formerly known as Tapped In. And I only say it like that because sometimes I'll be like, welcome to formerly known as Tapped In, the podcast that blanks. And if I say the podcast formerly known as Tapped In, the podcast that, I'm saying podcast too many times. I'm thinking ahead, Marcus. You know,
Yeah, but all right, do what you do, man.
you feel
Yeah.
me?
Yeah,
Do you want me
sure.
to redo it?
No, man, you
Oh,
good,
you good.
dog.
You good.
You
You
the
sure?
golden child, man.
Because it's your world. I'm just living in it.
Hey, but you my son though.
Today we are getting today we talking about the new album dropped by J. Cole called The Off Season. When did he drop that? Do y'all know what day it was?
I
Friday.
think it's Friday.
Last
Friday.
Friday?
Yeah, it
What was
just dropped.
that? Like the
Friday the
14th.
14th.
The 14th.
Friday the 14th. So we had 2 days to mull this over, to listen to it. I've listened to it multiple times.
I listened to it one time.
Davon has listened to it one time, and you
Davon gotta
know
go
he
first.
has some strong opinions.
Let Davon go first.
Davon, what was
Like
your
a-
first?
yeah.
What was your first
I don't need to
impressions
go
on that?
first.
What was your
Devon
first?
hates J. Cole.
I don't hate J. Cole.
For
He's just
some.
funny to me.
Devon is a J. Cole hater.
Davon, what was your first impressions of the album? One
No, I thought
listen.
it was actually cool though.
It's
but-
very surprising to hear you say that.
I'll let y'all get into it. more
Devon
first.
didn't
This
listen
is
to
just
the
first
album in its
impressions.
entirety.
This is just first impressions. Marcus, what was your first impression of the album Off Season by J. Cole?
I probably
Jermaine.
same as
Cole.
Davon. It was cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alex.
I was impressed, to be honest. I didn't have very high hopes for this album, but he did surprise me with this one. So yeah, I was impressed.
Okay. X, what you think? First impressions.
As a J. Cole fan, I didn't go into this album expecting a whole bunch. Just because of the last couple didn't really like impress me too much. But this one did show some promise after the first couple songs. And so yeah, it was pretty cool.
Okay.
And Eric, what'd you think, man?
Yeah, Eric.
My first impression was the first time I listened to it, I damn near had no thoughts on it. It was just like very like mid to me on the first listen. But I guess getting more into it, after giving it another listen, and I think listening to it like in my car made a difference. And it just sounded way better. And I don't know, maybe the first time I wasn't really paying attention or not really listening or whatever. But my second listen through the album was I actually did like it. It was cool to me. And I'm not a huge J. Cole fan. I like him, but you know, he do say a lot of corny shit sometimes that bothers me. I think what bothers me is how everybody else hypes him up so hard.
Yeah, that is annoying.
And I'm like, I mean, he cold, but he ain't that cold. Like he says so many like crazy weird lines
The cold
in
world,
like
man.
yeah, and like he says these weird lines because he wants to be like lyrical and he wants to have a lot of wordplay, but they be so whack sometimes.
Give us
And
a example.
I guess the biggest example is something like he says something like, "You niggas think you the shit, but you can't out fart me."
Yo, that's the one that I think of every time.
That's the one
And
that
he-
always
He
pops
He
into my
dropped that
head.
early in
Cole
his
line.
career. Nah, man.
That shit is so
As
weak.
soon as a rapper starts rapping about shit or
Oh,
fart
yeah.
jokes, I'm out, man. That shit ain't cool. for me.
Trash.
That shit is
Nice.
whack.
It's so trash.
But he dropped that 10. He said that I think more than 10
That
years
was a
ago.
long time ago. I would say
Yeah.
a more recent one is "I'm hot dog, catch up to me, nigga." And I understand that
What?
it's like that he uses wordplay in there, but it's so whack.
That's whack,
It's
bro.
so
Nah,
whack.
It's just goofy, man.
I know. I can't take
What's-
it serious.
But
What's
you
the-
gotta
Go
understand
ahead, X.
though, like J. Cole is a nerd.
Yeah.
I get that. I understand that. That doesn't make it any better for me. Honestly, it
I-
doesn't make it any better.
I
Should have
agree.
better lines than that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I get what X is saying. He's a nerd. I think
I'm a
that part
nerd.
of J. Cole, yeah, I think part of J. Cole's persona though is it doesn't play to the nerd part of him. Like
Yeah,
you have to really know J. Cole like to get that he's a nerd because he don't rap like he's a nerd. Like Logic
exactly.
raps like he's a nerd. J. Cole's a nerd without rapping like one, I guess. But he is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's I mean, and obviously he must because he also because we're having this conversation about whether or not he is. but-
it's like he's not really aware of it that he's
Comes
a
off
nerd.
as fake deep to me too. And that's
Fake
wrong.
deep. I can agree with the well, I don't know. Well, okay, fake deep, yeah. I can see that. Oh,
I don't
uh
think he's fake deep because he's been talking about deep stuff his entire career, even when he first came out.
Yeah.
this is slightly off topic, but still the same thing. Did y'all know that he uh made his debut as a professional basketball player as well?
In
Yeah,
Africa or something?
Yeah, in
Yeah,
Africa.
Somewhere in
Rondo.
Africa?
He was
Yeah.
with Rondo.
I just saw the headline. I wasn't too deeply
Very
invested.
strange.
I saw him dunk and then bust his ass. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, didn't he like land on his fucking stomach? He like belly
Yeah.
flopped. That shit looked
Oh my
painful.
god.
That was in
Shit was
J.
funny.
yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty random. But yeah, let's
So-
get into the
That was
album.
some
Like what?
random dude with dreads.
Yeah, you know,
That
J.
wasn't
Cole's been kind of all over the place because there was that one album and the rollout was I don't know if it was a music video or if it was just a video promoting the album, but he was just riding around on a bike. You know what I mean? And he looked like a bum.
I felt like it's
I
probably
think I know what
Forest
you're talking
Drive.
about.
Is that Forest Hill Drive when he's promoting like that?
Maybe, yeah, that sounds right. I don't
But
know,
yeah,
man.
let's get into the album though.
Yeah.
What songs did y'all like from it? Like what songs really stuck out to y'all?
first one. That's what
The
got me
first-
kind of hyped.
The
with
first one,
Cameron
which
on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did. I will say I
Killer.
enjoyed Cameron and Lil Jon because both of those are like two people that have influenced me a lot in my life. But I wasn't a huge fan of that song per se. I wouldn't say that was one for me that like stuck out. But I did like seeing both of them on the intro. That shit did get me hyped. But I'm looking at the track list now on my phone, and I like My Life, the song with 21 Savage and Maury. That song was fire.
that's I
Yeah.
really like that one. That one really
like that
stuck
one.
out to
But
me hard.
I like that one because I like 21 Savage's verse more
Yeah.
so than J. Cole.
Well,
I mean-
do y'all agree that that was basically a 21 Savage song?
I would say that just because I like 21 Savage's verse more than J. Cole's, you know what I mean?
I think it was really strange that I didn't know that 21 Savage was going to be on that song, but I was like, this would be a good 21 Savage beat. And then he comes up in the song. I thought that was really weird, but it makes me think like, does 21 Savage have like I know he raps a certain way, but does he have like a sound? Do y'all think?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most
absolutely.
definitely. If you listen to that beat sounds just like a lot. Like
Yeah.
it
Oh,
literally
is that what it
mimics
is?
a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
It mimics a lot. So when I
I'm sure-
heard the beat, I almost felt like 21 Savage was gonna be on it
Yeah, that's
before
exactly how I felt.
before I even heard the song.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a
Yeah.
dope song.
Y'all
not
know
gonna
who the
front.
producer is on that song? I
Let me
only
see.
ask because the Pride is a Devil beat is basically the same beat that was on Amine's last album, and
Hmm.
they're produced by the same dude, T
That
minus.
makes sense. Yeah.
He produced both the he produced Pride is the Devil for J. Cole, and then he produced Can't Decide for Amine, but it's like the same exact, it's the same beat.
My
with-
Life. Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Oh, I was just saying, My Life was produced by WU10, I guess Wu10, and J. Cole and Jake One.
Interesting.
Pride is the Devil, that was produced by T minus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, but I don't know. It's sounding like he's sort of recycling some sounds.
Yeah.
That being
Yeah.
that being said, I fucked with Hunger on the Hillside. I just liked
That was heat.
the lyrical, just the lyrics of that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
production was dope, and I think it was like a good way to close out his album. And just speaking from someone, you know, that, or speaking from the standpoint of someone who creates and you know, struggles with the process or whatever, that sort of resonates with me. And I feel like it's not just applicable to, you know, artistry. I think it's more so just like the hustle of things. So I was appreciative of that track. And then that's the only, I feel like that's one of the only ones that I've really gone back and listened to multiple times outside of listening to the album, because I think I listened to the album maybe 2 or 3 times.
I feel it.
Gotcha. X, what you think? What are your favorite songs off there?
See, I'm like really critical of J. Cole. So like I only like maybe 2 songs on the album. I like Close a lot because it
Oh,
That
this
doesn't
is
song
have
is
a
fire.
hard. That song is
Close
fucking
doesn't
tight.
have a chorus and it doesn't have a bridge. It just has him rapping.
Yeah.
And I liked Amari. I don't know why. I think I like Amari because of the lyrics. And for me, Hunger on Hillside, when I first heard it, it was dope. But for me, Hunger on Hillside doesn't close out the album like any of his other album outros do. It just kind of left me hanging. So what Hunger on the Hillside kind of figured, or what I thought about that track is that he's gonna come back soon with something else. So I'm thinking that there's gonna be like a deluxe coming soon or some
Yeah.
other
Oh yeah.
project coming soon.
I
Cause
always forget about deluxe tracks.
it doesn't close out an album like the way he usually closes out his albums. Like it kind of was like a cliffhanger.
I could see that too. I feel like that's become a thing that so many artists are doing these days anyways,
Yeah,
or they're
yeah.
doing like, and when I
They
saw the
release an
track
album.
list, yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of shorter. This was like
Mm-hmm.
39 minutes, and then
Mhm.
like a year or 6 months to a year later they'll come out with the deluxe. So I could easily see that. And
Yeah.
the most recent albums that he was on, I think was the what is it, the Dreamville project or whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Revenge
yeah.
of the Dreamers. And I mean, hard ass album for me. And that also had like a regular and a deluxe. So I feel like it makes sense because it follows that formula, you know.
Yeah.
I probably would have said he probably has like a lot of backlog, but now that I'm seeing that he plays like fucking professional basketball, it's hard to expect him to, you know, spend a shit ton of time in the studio like you know other rappers might who aren't playing fucking professional sports.
I mean, if he drops a deluxe, I'm sure he has most of that shit recorded already, so he can
Hmm.
just like drop it whenever
Yeah.
he's ready to promote it.
Yeah.
Has
So,
there been another artist who went from rapping to professional sports? I know there's a lot the other way around, but has there been many?
I know Lil Durk at one point was on like a 10-day contract for the Bulls, because he's really good at basketball too. Like crazy good apparently, but they signed him to a
Really?
10-day. I want to say like last year, maybe 2 years ago. But aside from
Yeah.
that, I know Sheck West. I think he signed as like some like French league as well.
Yeah, that's I wanted to say Sheck
What?
West, but I didn't know
Yeah,
the details. I know he
I
played
don't either.
ball,
I
but
want to say he has like he signed somewhere overseas to play ball. I don't know. I don't listen to Sheck West. I don't follow him like that. But this is just kind of
Mm.
what I've gathered from like what I've seen on the internet.
bless you. That being said, it's fucking weird that he's just randomly playing.
That is,
And
out of nowhere.
where's he even playing at? I get that he's playing in Africa, but like what country in
It's
Africa?
I think Rwanda.
it's Rwanda. Yeah, it's Rwanda.
Oh my god. Why?
It's
That is my next question. Why?
I don't know what his
probably
team
He's
because
is.
always been a hooper. Like even back in the high when he was in high school or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when he went to college, like he's always been a hooper. And he just never really followed it because he chose rapping. So I
Yeah.
guess this is just him following his hoop dreams.
He's pretty
Hey, man.
tall too, actually.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't he like
He's
6'3" or 6'4" or some shit like that?
he's got like the hooping build, so
um
Hey
J.
man,
Cole,
go
little baby hooping.
he's
go off,
6'2".
J. Cole. He's 6'2".
But you know who's 6'3"? Young Thug. He should be a professional basketball player.
He drink
Nah,
too much
young
sleep. Yeah.
young
Thug
Thug don't
plays
have the diet for
baseball.
it, man.
You said Young Thug plays
Hey,
baseball?
I think so.
Marcus.
What?
Okay, tell me if this is true. I just heard this in passing somewhere, but somewhere I heard that Young Thug only eats candy and not like
Yeah.
food. Is
He
that
said that
true?
he said that in like an interview or something. He said he don't eat vegetables. He
What the
and he
fuck?
stays his I don't know what they were even saying. They were like commenting on like how skinny he is, or like if he's on a diet. He's like, I don't even eat food, man. I just eat candy when I'm hungry.
Dude,
And
what the
I think that was it,
hell?
man. He's just
That is
that's some goofy shit.
insane.
Like I've said before, I like his music. I don't like him as a person.
As a
That's some
person,
whack shit to
that's
say,
some
man.
crazy shit. Like
Hey, I'm
what?
getting triggered.
I only eat I only eat candy. All candy diet, bro. His teeth got to
That
be fucked up.
His
Devon
whole
said
mouth,
that
he
His
probably got a
teeth
yuck
probably ain't
mouth.
even real. I was about to say his teeth probably aren't even real.
Devon
Oh,
said that
dude.
Young Thug plays baseball, and I think that's
Yeah.
random as fuck too. Like
What?
the fuck? Yeah, what?
He don't
I
play
don't know.
baseball, man.
America's pastime, America's slime.
America's pastime.
All
Devon,
right.
where did Devon leave?
Devon
Hey,
jumped
why
out
y'all
the
never
window,
like my
man.
jokes or puns? He muted his mic and dipped.
He was like, "Yo, I gotta go." He said, "I'm done with the pod."
All right, y'all, peace.
Eric, what about you, man? What songs were you feeling off of the album?
I really liked obviously Close was a really dope fucking song. Lots of lyrics, lots of lyrical shit in there that wasn't corny. Did say some corny shit on the album. A few. Everybody's been
Well,
like up in
what's
arms
the
about
Mario one?
the Mario. Everybody's been
Yeah,
up in
yeah.
arms about the Mario line, but that shit is not hard. It's not.
Oh, it's. I feel like that's on par for like J. Cole. Like I don't know. Like
What
I don't know. I
what's
liked it.
Not
When he said, "I
hard.
put an M on your head, you Luigi brother." Now I
yeah,
thought that
yeah,
was
Yes,
yeah.
hard.
it
that's
was
cool.
not that hard.
It's all right.
That's the easiest. I don't know. I'm not a rapper. I can't really speak to what's easy or not, but that I feel like everybody's just like overhyping it. Like
I
not
don't
that
know.
hard of a line.
On my Twitter stream, everybody was talking shit about that line specifically.
Really, I've only
Yeah.
heard like everybody putting the fucking fire flame emojis over
Yeah.
that shit or whatever.
I've seen the same. Random. I never want to hear J. Cole sing again. Like
I
he's
don't like him
he's rapping,
singing.
but
I
if
don't.
he starts singing, I'm like, I'm not trying to hear that shit.
Also, he
There's-
had auto tune. That was.
I was gonna say there was
interesting.
a lot of auto tune parts where like what was it, the second verse on the first song, he like it started off with him in auto tune, and for like
Yeah.
a brief second I thought he got like Meek Mill or something on there, and then I was like, no, this is J. Cole rapping. It's just like a higher pitch. And then
He's not a-
there's yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
He's not a
I
good
don't
singer.
like the auto. I don't like the auto tune J Cole or the
Yeah,
singing J Cole
that's like
either.
Also,
KOD J. Cole.
I feel like he sang better on Forest Hills Drive.
I don't
than
think he
on
was
this.
trying to sing, man.
I guess so.
More and more, that's like a thing where
Yeah.
people will sing on a track, but they know they can't sing. That's how Chance the Rapper is. Like he's always singing, but man can't
Yeah,
sing.
Yeah, he don't have
he's
like a
not good at singing. Yeah, what's up with that?
It's just a trend,
Yeah.
It is a trend.
Yeah.
Like some rappers
It's like-
harmonize, but
Yeah, it's like
singing,
rap
nah.
singing.
I think it's just difficult because I think a lot of like obviously singing pairs well with rapping a lot of the times, but I mean,
It goes hand in hand. But usually with a feature that's doing the singing, or someone who can sing doing the singing.
I think that's a big. I know that's like something that Tyler the Creator struggles with. Is he really wants to fucking sing, but he can't sing for shit.
Yeah, I mean he
So
also does that, right? He also
he'll
is singing on a bunch of tracks.
It's never good, never really good.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
I said, it's just a trend,
Yeah,
And J. Cole, for better or for worse, he has to sort of conform to some of those trends sometimes. He's been around for as long as he has and stayed relevant through the power of somewhat following trends. I feel like he
Yeah.
has a big fan base that has kept him relevant too. Like they're pretty combative. Or
Oh,
go
they
ahead,
are
X.
very, yeah,
His fan base is very loyal.
His
Yeah.
fan base is super
extremely.
loyal.
That's what makes
Oh.
him annoying, honestly.
Yeah.
Do y'all think?
Yeah.
And that's why you have to look at it from the outside. Like, is it a good album? Can I care for J. Cole without being one of these like bloodthirsty fans that are always like, what was the thing a couple of years ago? It was like 4 albums, no features, what
Four times
5 number
platinum.
1 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, three
Platinum, no
three times
features.
platinums. Yeah, platinum, no
That shit was
features.
obnoxious.
That shit was obnoxious. And I
Those
feel like,
albums are trash too.
yeah, I
For
feel like
Your
that's
Eyes Only was so bad.
I think he lost people with his fan base saying whack shit like that,
I want to
Yeah.
speak to that real quick. Where I know it might be too early, but where would you rank this album compared to like the rest of his albums?
I don't know, man.
Like albums only.
Yeah.
Let me
just
see.
say
Let me
all
pull up
albums
his
are work,
album.
honestly. His mixtapes are better than his albums.
Yeah.
But he
I'm
ain't
just
dropped a
talking about studio
mixtape in
albums, though.
years.
Like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
mixtapes are fire, but just regarding like studio albums.
So there was 2014 Forest Hills Drive, KOD. That was the album, right? Not a mixtape.
KOD was the album right
Yeah.
before this one.
Okay, so I would rank them
That's not
For
his
Your
only
Eyes
album.
Only at the fucking bottom for sure. That shit was hot poop, hot dookie for sure. Then I would say 2014 Forest Hill Drive, KOD, then this newest album.
I
Not
would
Born.
agree
Where's
with
Born
that.
Sinner?
Yeah,
It's
No,
I
on
forgot
you
Was
about
got
that
that.
the
an was that an album?
Born
Yeah.
Sinner is probably
Yeah.
his best album.
That's an
I fuck with
album.
Born Sinner. Yeah,
I
it's
thought
an
that was
album.
I thought that was a mixtape. Okay, so that would be at the top then. I would put that at the top.
He ain't dropped a mixtape in a minute, to the best of my knowledge.
I'm not too familiar with his discography.
Yeah,
If you
we
haven't
can
heard
tell.
Friday Night Lights, you should definitely listen to that though. That's my favorite
No.
mixtape by him.
I'm just kidding. I'll try it out.
Friday Night Lights.
I'm
is
sure
dope.
I've heard some songs off of it,
That's
but I
That
don't
was-
think I've
that
ever
was-
listened to it as
best
like a whole
That's by far his
project.
best
Yeah,
project, in my
that
opinion.
that's when that's like a lot of the songs off of that were on his first album, just because that's when he was like
Mhm.
blowing up. That's when we started listening to him. Homie Matt put me on to J. Cole anyways, and
He put me on too.
I was listening to him heavy. And then that's he also had the he was he was big homies with he was big homies with Kendrick Lamar, and there was talk of that joint album, and Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole were blowing up kind of at the same time. Like they kind of like
Mhm.
I don't know why
Both.
people want that.
I feel like people will see them as like competitors because they
not
were coming out at the
equals.
same. They're not.
they're
I
not,
would- they're not.
but back when those original rumors were coming out, like
Yeah,
for
back
me,
when
for
that
me, they
was
were kind
coming
of on the same
out.
level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. When they were coming out, when they were
Back in the
both coming
day
up,
when-
there was more like of a competition between them. But I think the gap has widened severely. Like since they were like coming up.
I think they've just
can-
gone in different
Get those doors,
directions,
baby.
Like J. Cole has done he's on his CEO shit, so he manages Dreamville and all of what that entails. Kendrick has just kind of gone in the direction of being like one of the best lyricists that we've had for a long time, and he's a lot more sort of, he just makes music and then hangs out. I feel like they're both sort of reclusive to an extent, but like
Or-
at the same time, J. Cole, you know that moves are being made just because Dreamville's still signing people, they're still dropping music, and the people that he's got signed are still dropping music.
For sure. For sure.
So y'all wouldn't put him up there on artists of the decade, like up like
No.
within the top 10.
No,
But
not even.
like rapper wise, I put him up there, just based off popularity.
That's
but like,
that's what I was about to ask y'all.
Rapper wise.
So on this album, he said he's a part of the Mount Rushmore. So who's on that
I
Mount
agree with
Rushmore?
that. I mean, it's got to be Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, and
As for rappers, yeah.
On
Yeah,
the
I'd
the
agree.
rapper Mount Rushmore
Yeah.
I'd agree.
of
Yeah.
all time.
No,
No,
just like this decade, not of all
just
time.
this
Oh, okay,
just
okay.
this decade.
For
I'd
sure,
agree. It's
Kendrick,
Drake,
J.
Kendrick,
Cole,
and
Drake,
J. Cole.
and who?
I don't.
Just
I
three?
don't know the rest.
I
I'd
don't even
say
know if
three
I
Go
for
for
sure.
popularity though.
I don't even know if I could put Drake on there. Like if I'm going, I feel like
It'd have to be.
Kendrick. I feel like Drake. Like we talked about last pod, he does a lot of intermixing. I don't know when I'm trying to go for rappers and like who I would like lyrically and who I gravitate
Oh,
towards. I
he'd
don't
have
know
to
if
be.
Like you
100%.
can't
He'd have
have
to be.
Ghost Riders and be on the Rushmore.
He'd
yeah, I
have to
couldn't.
be.
I couldn't go. I couldn't go for Drake on that.
Big Crit. I would
I
put
would
him
put
up
him
there.
in.
I think talent wise, yeah. I mean, Crit has always been solid. I mean, he's consistent. He drops phenomenal albums. I just don't think he's not as popular as like the other rappers. But I mean,
That's
personally, I
why I
think
wouldn't go off popularity.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'll
why
his
it's
business
such a
album,
hard
but
thing.
if you,
Yeah.
but I guess lyrically, then where would you like?
I'll have to put Freddie Gibbs and Big Crit on there.
I agree with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's another? Okay, so we know Kendrick is a lyrical rapper and he's very popular.
I guess they
There-
don't even have to be lyrical. They just have to be a rapper
okay, you're right.
who
He's just a good
who has
rapper,
some renown. Yeah, yeah.
I would, yeah, Freddie Gibbs and Big Crit. I would definitely say them. But these,
Kendrick,
Kenny.
maybe Benny and Conway. I don't know if they've dropped enough.
I don't know if
projects
they've dropped enough
soon,
recently. You know.
Conway's last album is fire. That's
Yeah.
album of the year right now to me.
Yeah. I fuck with all the Griselda dudes, but from my own point of view, also, I just haven't been listening to them long enough to like put them on a hip hop Mount Rushmore of the
They
last
haven't
10
been
years.
around long enough yet.
Yeah.
I respect that. So then we agree on Kendrick and Big Crit, but and Freddie Gibbs. Who would anyone else or that sticks out?
I feel like it also depends on where you're from. I mean, with the five of us right here, I feel like we
Midwest
don't have
boys.
yeah, we're Midwest boys and of the same friend group. So even though we don't all
Yeah.
have the same like artists in mind, I feel like if we had someone from the South, it'd be completely different Mount
We're
Rushmore of
still,
the last 10 years, or even Florida.
true.
If you had anyone from Florida here, which I hope we never have anyone from Florida on the pod, but if we did, you know, it'd be like the most ridiculous Suicide Squad looking assemblage
Kodak,
of a hip
I
hop.
feel like
I
we are
feel
the
like
best people to ask though, because where we from, we don't have a rapper from here, so like we
excuse
have
me, Tech
unbiased
Nine.
opinions.
Tech
Nine's
Nine's
not from
here.
Yeah,
Omaha.
I'm just
He's
I know he's not from
Midwest.
Omaha, but he's
Then
from the
shut
Midwest.
up.
I'm talking about from the state. So I feel like our opinions are unbiased, so we can listen to people from everywhere
I can agree with that,
without
but
Yeah.
an unbiased opinion.
I will say that as a friend group, we kind of are like an echo chamber, though.
Yeah.
Like we don't have any like way outside perspectives. Everybody that we talk, like, well, not everybody that we talked to, but in our core friend group, we all like the same shit pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, we all just agreed on Big Crit, and like, I mean, I didn't agree on Big Crit, but I don't have anything like to add. Big Crit's hard as hell, so maybe yeah. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard
Oh
to say
wait, what
because of the
about
friend group.
Pusha T? I would put him on there.
Pusha,
Mhm.
he who raps only of cocaine. I fuck with Pusha, and I give Pusha his props, but I don't know if I could. I don't know.
Santeria.
No, I don't know. I'd say of this decade,
Lyricist,
the
though,
top
Pusha?
three would still be just Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. I don't know who else would be up there, but that's who would be on Mount Rushmore right now.
Are
I
you
don't know who
basing
else
off
you want to put up
popularity,
there.
X?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say popularity and just who has control of the game right now.
Yeah. All right. I'll put
Like when
Drake
they
up
when
there.
they when they drop, they make a meaningful drop,
Yeah.
and like the world listens.
I mean, yeah.
Because if
popularity, I'll
Kendrick
put
doesn't,
Drake on there.
Kendrick don't need to have a rollout to drop. Kendrick could drop tomorrow and he'll sell 3,000 or 300,000.
Yeah.
I would love to see him drop an album like during the hype of a J. Cole album. I'm
I don't
very
think he would
curious
do
to
that.
see. I know he
It's
wouldn't,
out of
but
respect. But yeah.
I feel like they do
I don't
have
think
like
it's
a
up to him.
mutual respect for each other, which is interesting. I think it'd be cooler and more entertaining if they were like actively beefing. Cause
Why?
Why do you want people
because
to beef, man?
That would
because
be an interesting beef.
Yeah, no,
conflict
it's just their
breeds
homies.
conflict. I feel like conflict in music breeds like innovation.
Kendrick's peerless, man. He's innovative on his own. Like
I agree, but
Kendrick,
that nigga don't drop enough.
Kendrick as a person isn't. He does. I don't feel like he needs to beef with someone to be innovative. I think some artists do. I think people like Kendrick and J. Cole. I don't think they need to, because they're on their own shit. In a sense, they're both peerless to a certain extent because they're all at these different levels that are high up there, but that don't require them to be butting heads with anyone. Would it
Why
be
he dropped
interesting
that
if
control verse?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It'd be interesting. Oh yeah, the control verse.
I guess he did, but
I wouldn't even say he beefed though. Like he
I,
just
I mean, he
that
yeah,
wasn't
didn't
dissing. He
sound
was
like a
calling
beef.
people
Don't
It
get
out.
didn't
out.
sound like a deep.
exactly. He was
But that
just
was like a call to action, more
yeah.
like that's what it seemed like to me.
I think that's the closest thing you'd get to a beef with Kendrick Lamar, and it wasn't even a beef. I think a lot of people might have gotten hurt over that because they thought that they were being called out, but I also don't think that that was even the intention. I think
I think
Twitter and I
that
think
hurt
social,
Drake feelings.
But Drake is always in his feelings.
Drake though.
Everywhere Drake
He
looks,
was
he's
so
gonna be in his
hurt.
feelings. Yeah, I mean that's
Also,
just
He was
I think
so
he was
hurt.
beefing with Big Sean too. Actually,
He was
Oh
beefing with
yeah.
Big
yeah.
Sean.
Big Sean took some yeah.
because the hard
But
part
Big
four that
Sean.
was about Big Sean. One part.
well, what is it? The BET Cipher. The BET
That too.
Cipher. I feel like was aimed at Drake that year. That shit was hard. Okay, Kendrick beefing is hard, but Kendrick beefing is merciless, and then that's just how it is.
I
And
don't want to
then
see a
That's
beef
just
with
the
J. Cole
fucking end.
though. I feel like that would be a good beef. Like I wouldn't like to see that back and forth, J. Cole and Kendrick. It just wouldn't be interesting to me.
It
You
wouldn't
don't
be
think
any
so?
competition.
No, I don't think so.
no, I don't think so. So
What would they
let's
talk shit about?
exactly. Let's not even try to pit them together. I'm not even gonna entertain this. Let's move on to Invincible.
All right, Joe.
Invincible
We are
season
at the finale,
finale.
baby.
Wait, did
Yes,
y'all rate that
finally.
album?
No,
No,
I
I
don't think
guess
we're
we
rating it.
should we
Should we
rate
rate
it?
the album? Are we gonna? Is that what we're doing? We're rating topic
I mean-
1 and topic 2.
I can rate it now, but it might change when I listen to it more.
No, let's not rate it. I don't want to rate
Okay.
it.
I don't either.
Alright.
I don't. I feel like my rating would be based on nothing.
Okay, okay.
All right.
I'm just saying. I just feel like what
You
if I?
listen to
It
you
would be
listen
based
to
on your listen.
yeah.
I don't
They're
know.
gonna
I
be
just feel
thinking
like
about something completely different.
like
Moving on.
okay.
Invincible, the season finale.
We're at the season
Episode 8.
finale. Finally here. 8 episodes in. Alex, this is your first time watching this episode. I think everybody else has already watched it once at
Yes.
least. Yes. Go ahead. Anywho.
All right.
Yeah, so Alex, first
Oh.
impressions on this episode 8 of the Amazon animated series Invincible.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little disappointed in the season finale.
Oh,
Okay.
What?
I mean, it was cool. I wanted more carnage though. I wanted him to like kill all the superheroes, like not just beat Mark's ass. Like that was cool watching him get his, like beat his son's ass. But like the first half was cool, but then after that, when they're just kind of like playing like the second half after he like went to a different planet and just like talking the rest of the episode, like I was like, this is not that interesting. I understand they're probably setting up for season 2, but I just wish it was
but also giving us time to breathe, man.
nah.
Dude,
I
What
don't
are
not
you
enough
talking
carnage?
I
about?
want my foot.
Yo.
Foot on my neck. Like episode 9 was perfect. Like that's by far my favorite episode. I wish it would have built on that a little bit more. Like I don't know. I want to see more chaos.
Interesting.
I want to see like
Alright.
Cecil or somebody like important die or get their ass whooped. But I mean, it
Okay.
wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I was hoping for essentially.
All right, well,
All right.
I thought it was good.
Marcus,
That's
yeah, what was
my
your first
impression. You know, when I first saw this episode, I was like, fuck yes. Like, I've been waiting for it. This shit was way more bloody than I thought. Wasn't expecting a bunch of Chicago to get destroyed. So I fucked with it. That's my impression. X, what was your impression?
That shit was heat.
Yes.
That shit was flames. Are you kidding me? I thought it was super good. I watched it like 3 times. Just so I could like not to like miss anything or miss any like small stuff. I watched it like looking around the whole picture and make sure I didn't miss anything small. My favorite scene was definitely the subway scene. They animated the fuck out of that. They did their thing with that.
That scene was
That
hard.
shit
There was a lot
super
of little
nuts.
CGI scenes in this episode that I noticed. I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
They did their thing with that. It was super hard.
They went in for sure. Devon, what was your first impressions of this episode?
It was very satisfying. Oh, Omni-Man is abusing the hell out of his son.
Somebody call CPS
I was
immediately.
about to say that.
He worked Mark.
God,
CPS, please help my boy.
please. Yo,
That man is 17, man.
Right.
he's still a minor.
He's a minor, man.
He had what coming for him, you know.
He put him
Alex,
in the
you-
dirt,
Oh,
literally.
You crazy this
I'm Team
episode.
Omni Man.
Hey.
That's who I'm here to see.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
Alex, whoa.
I'm not gonna
Yo,
lie.
you
This man
problematic.
is
Fuck Mark.
wild.
I like
You
Omni
problematic as
Man.
hell. Eric, what was your impression?
My first impressions was I love this episode. I think it was interesting. It was very interesting. We again see Mark take endless
Capital
L,
L.
ending the
Capital L.
season with an L. How do you do this? Is your show. This is your show, and you end your season with the L. Like incredible. I see. I think one thing that I loved about this episode is throughout the season we see Omni-Man's ruthlessness, and we don't think it could get no worse, but it increases exponentially.
Yeah.
Exponentially. We're like, okay, I thought this nigga was a demon. No, this nigga is Satan himself.
He just killing people for no reason.
Dog. Oh my
Man.
God. Let's get into it. When this man pops that fucking pilot's head.
Dude,
Yeah, that shit was gross.
Yeah.
After Mark did all that to go out of his way to
oh
save that
my
man,
God. He
Save
just
that
and he
man,
landed
yeah.
behind him,
he just touched him.
blew his
Just-
head out.
That shit was nuts. I wasn't expecting that. That had me shook to my core.
That shit was gross.
I was like, whoa, this man's fucking nuts. But at the beginning of the episode, he tells the real story of Viltrum, which is a
Yeah.
callback to episode, I want to say
It's episode 1.
3. Oh, that was episode 1?
Yeah,
where they
this is
show the
what
flashbacks?
Yeah, where they show the flashback and it's like he's telling Mark basically an abridged version of what the Viltrum Empire is in episode 1. And like I was saying, it's like a shot for shot sort of, it's it's a big change in content where it's like, they're peacekeepers in the first episode, they protect the galaxy, yada yada. And in this, Mark gets the full truth, and it's not as pretty a picture as he painted it to be in the first one. The Viltrumites are just ruthless killers that kill the weak of their planet, so that they've got these pure bloodlines.
I kind of fuck with that.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy,
I
but
kind of
it
fuck with
also
the Viltrumites.
it also goes more into the Viltrumites having that comparison to the Saiyans, from Dragon Ball Z,
Yep.
where there's sort of race of people who conquer worlds and are pretty ruthless in doing that, and then you have your protagonist who is sort of the antithesis of what his father's race is bent on doing.
A lot of parallels there.
Yeah, and in that flashback, we get a look at some of the other Viltrumites, and specifically, there's some pretty important characters for upcoming stuff. Not to go too much into it, but all the Viltrumites that they showed in those flashbacks are sort of important Viltrumites.
I like
Um,
that. I like the woman with the. What does she have? A big ass braid?
yeah, she has a braid and she has
Yeah.
a spear.
That shit look cool.
Yeah,
I
and
like her.
there's the gray haired man that's front and center. He's sort of he's like the Viltrumite heavy.
I've been
So
seeing like memes about that.
So it's probably people worse than Omni Man out there.
yeah,
That's what I've been hearing.
there
Hopefully.
there there is
Alex,
there
are
is.
you okay? Are you
Alex is in a
Alex?
mood,
You
Yeah.
good,
man.
bro?
Dude, I like violence. That's why I like Omni Man. Like the first episode when he killed all the superheroes. That's why I started watching the show. That's what I want to see. And I got a good decent amount of that this
But
episode.
not
But
enough.
yeah, not enough. And I wish it was
Not enough.
more main characters instead of just like random people like of him working off, essentially.
So you want the
I can see
loss
that.
to feel more meaningful, like
Yeah. Rather than just like
you got the Guardians of the Globe taken away from you in episode 1, and you ain't been right since, huh?
exactly. It's
You
like
know
Yeah.
what? You know, Alex, I kind of feel you because yes, a lot of stuff happened in this episode, but like all the carnage was kind of meaningless.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
Mhm.
nothing happened pretty much because obviously Mark is gonna heal.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody important died. Nobody that we care about at least, and nobody that's gonna affect the story at all. So I kind of see what you mean in that aspect. I think it would have been interesting, like if he just, I don't know, killed Adam Eve.
Yeah,
I
just
think
somebody
that
or
would have been,
sequel at least, like
yeah.
somebody just like that of that real importance, I guess. But I mean, it's still
Uh,
good. It just
I still like the episode though. The shock. I was still fucking shocked to see him
Me too.
fucking
Me too.
beat Mark to a bloody pulp. He
I'm
was
not.
destroying that man for 40 minutes straight. This is a 40-minute episode. For
I
like 40
thought
minutes, he was
it was
fucking murking
crazy
this man.
when he's whooping Mark's ass. It's like I could just make another son of you. Like that shit hit hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo,
Some real
Oh
heartless.
it's
no,
crazy. Like
Your
he's
bro,
mom's
it hit
more of a
hard.
pet,
A
like
pet. Yeah.
oh
and the mom
man,
Yeah,
was
that's
taking it hard
wild.
too,
Oh
Yeah, it
Oh
yeah.
was.
yeah, man. He
I
called her
feel
a
so
pet.
bad for Debbie.
oh
Like,
for sure.
imagine her watching this. She's watching the love of her life beat the fucking just
Breaks.
destroy her fucking child. Like she
Got
has
his
to
ass
be like
beat all
a
over the
fucking
world.
cocktail of feelings. That shit's wild. That was a wild episode. He really went in.
The episode, yeah, I mean, I can see where Alex is sort of coming from like a
Yeah.
heartless perspective. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think it's interesting. I think what they tried to do with all that gore is try to make that gore equate to something more substantial. Where it's not the killing of a main character, but it's the killing of a lot of people in a city that you actually know, Chicago. And for me, it was traumatic. Watching all those people, watching Invincible come through. He blows through the building in Chicago, lands. People get annihilated on impact. He tries to save the building from falling, and
Oh
then it
yeah.
falls on him. And then he pulls like an arm out the rubble,
He tried
smack
to
down.
save that little girl and her mom.
Yeah, I feel like all the and like little stuff like that where he's like actually trying to save people, and then for those people to get ripped out of him, I feel like that gave me sort of the emotional investment in that person that they intended.
Hmm.
Obviously they weren't accounting for the fact that there'd be people like Alex out there just wanting, their favorite people to die on some Game of Thrones shit.
I can I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like for instance, the pilot, like he kind of became important for like a split second with Mark making an effort to try to try to save him, just to get popped.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because it's just like, oh my god, thank you. It's like a whole sequence.
Yeah,
Fighter jets get scrambled. Uh, Omni Man goes through one, ejects. The eject button's not working. There's like that near miss where the parachute doesn't deploy. Mark saves him anyways, and then all of that's for nothing because Omni Man lands behind him, blows up his head. Like stuff like that. Had me emotionally invested, and then just the whole train thing where Mark was doing his best to save people, and
yeah.
then his dad basically used him as a I don't even know what you would call it, like a just like a point of just destroying everything in the train.
Split the
Like,
They were
train in
just like
half with his
man,
flying
face.
through
That
it.
he was just like going like this, and people were exploding into like bloody messes.
that
That
shit was
was
I
nuts.
nuts.
said
I
I
love
said
that
this
shit.
I said this on episode 6. Mark needs fucking therapy,
I know.
especially after he needed it before. Now he needs a lobotomy, I think. Something,
Doesn't
something
nobody needs a
extreme.
lobotomy?
I think Mark does. He's gonna be fucked up. He has to be fucked up.
You need a better trainer.
This
That
is
boy
a
got-
comic.
I was about to say that he needs
Who's
superhero
gonna
training.
Who's
Yeah,
gonna train him now?
I don't know. He better figure something out.
Who's
Bro.
gonna the most powerful person on the
His
planet
dad
just
coming back with
beat
all
the
his
shit
homies
out of
next
him.
season. His dad coming back with all his homies next season. He better like get the trainer right now.
He
I,
needs to
for
do
one,
like some
cannot
MMA
wait till
training
next
or
season.
something. Put him in a chokehold.
Man, just y'all wait. I don't know what next season's gonna have, but
I'm hyped for it though.
it's gonna have to like it's gonna have to it's gonna have to continue in the same way that this has, where there's just like
Do y'all
even more gore and
think
shit. Eric's frozen. He's gone.
Eric down bad.
Eric down bad, man.
I don't know. Invincible's so good. I might have to read the comic.
I feel that.
I was thinking
comics-
about
The comic's worth Eric's back. The comic's worth
Yeah.
reading though. It definitely is. The show kind of, you know, it follows kind of the same storyline, but it deviates a little. The main things still happen, but I think it's worth reading. Especially if you're just like in the mood of reading comics, because it's pretty dope. And it's a good show. Like the show's pretty true to the comic in a way that I think not even the live action could be if it was ever a thing. Eric froze
Yeah.
again.
That
But
no, I'm cool.
Are the comics finished or are they still coming out?
yeah, no, the comics are done.
Mm.
Yeah, y'all should read them. You know, if you think Invincible is a bitch now, just wait until you continue reading. If you think he needs therapy now, just wait, because
Fuck.
man, it's
Season I'm gonna have to read them because who the fuck knows when season 2 is gonna come out.
probably next year.
Yeah, that's a long time, bro. I can't wait.
Yeah,
They're
Season-
working on it already. They announced 2 and 3.
yeah, seasons 2 and 3 were announced, so I think it's safe to say that, you know, if our pod survives, we'll be able to be
Ooh.
reviewing those again, you know.
Yeah, that'll be really dope.
Yeah,
I would love to
yeah.
do season 2 and 3 of Invincible.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the scene, like the baseball scene, where it shows that, you know, Omni-Man actually gave a fuck? Like he like melted down his like cold exterior for a second to start cheering Mark. He put his pride to the side. Do y'all think he actually put his pride to the side because he cared, or
I
was
think
he
he
just
cared.
like
I think in that moment is when he started sort of realizing what humanity was all about, and
Mhm.
also catering to the fact that his son, that he raised his son a human. He didn't know if his son was even going to be a Viltrumite, and
Right.
Yeah.
and Mark being a Viltrumite was sort of the catalyst to this whole season, to him killing the Guardians and to like beginning his takeover, right? It wasn't until after Mark got his powers that he was like, okay, you know, we need to take care of the strongest people on the planet. And so the baseball scene was interesting because it's sort of his realization that while he's been trying to convince his son to adhere to the Viltrumite point of view, his son up to that point has been a human, you know?
Mhm.
And I think
It was
that,
too late. He
I
should have
think it's-
instilled it in him when he was a kid.
yeah, but like he didn't know. He wasn't sure if the Viltrumite DNA, and he said that. So like I think what we see is him sort of coming to terms with the fact that Mark is not only a Viltrumite but also a human, whereas before it was Mark up to getting his powers was a human, and then once he got his powers, he's been a Viltrumite, and so he just expects Mark to adhere to the Viltrumite sensibilities, right?
Which is
and-
kind of a dumb way of thinking.
Yeah, but he also just didn't know, and I feel like, part of it is it wasn't just Mark that began to see that Mark wasn't just his sole cause of seeing what humanity is. It was also Debbie, right? Even though he said that she was more of a pet, he still has love for her. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? He still loved her. It was Debbie that, even made him take a beat and be like, yo, this is meaningful to your son. This is meaningful to human life. It's not all using your powers and saving people, you know?
Yeah. I just feel like I don't really I honestly don't really get what the fuck he was doing. Like, why didn't he come to the planet and then weaken it like he was supposed to? Like, why didn't he just do that?
Yeah.
Because he met Debbie.
Yeah,
Fell in
that's what I
love.
was doing.
I guess. I mean, so are we to expect that he kind of fell in love with Debbie almost immediately? Because that's what it seems like. Because he's lived
Well,
thousands of years, met
and
thousands of women, had thousands of children. But are we
he
under
hasn't
the
had
impression
thousands of children.
he hasn't?
No. And him meeting Debbie, you could see was one of the first things that happened when he got here because he still had
Yes,
his white suit
uniform.
on, the
Hmm.
Viltrumite uniform. Um, so I think, Debbie was sort of the catalyst to him finding merit in humanity. But also Viltrumites, when tasked with taking over a planet, they don't need to take over the planet in a day. They have time, basically.
I got a question regarding that because at one point there's like a flashback and they're talking about how the Vultramites killed like all the weak members, but
Mhm.
as we can see in this season, Mark isn't the strongest. So I wonder if there will be a point where Omni-Man might feel obligated to kill his son because he isn't strong enough, or like how do you think that dynamic will play out if he doesn't? Because they always try and keep the strongest people, but like, what if his
Well,
son doesn't make the cut,
so this
or
goes
is it just like
into
strictly on Ultraman?
this goes into what Alan was saying at the end of the episode, is that a Viltrumite has never abandoned
Just
their
post.
mission.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so this is essentially uncharted territory. It's never happened. Um, I think if Omni-Man's intention was to kill Mark, he would have done it. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? I think
And he was
because
going to.
he was going to, and then he remembered that he's his son, and then he felt something. So I think Omni-Man at this point is at a place where he's not going to kill Mark, and in fact he has abandoned his post. um and so in abandoning his post as a Viltrum, what does that mean? What does that mean that
Right.
what's become of his mission, you
I
know
feel like I've never read the comics or anything, so I have no idea. But I feel like the other Viltrumites might see that as a sign of weakness
hmm
because
I can see that.
uh, basically, according to Omni-Man, um, you do what's right for Viltrum no matter what, and if you don't,
right.
then that's a problem. So I feel like uh, Omni-Man, we don't know where Omni-Man ranks strength-wise against the other Viltrumites. So I feel like they might beat his ass or something, or kill him. I don't know.
We have some inclination just because he said that he was one of the few chosen to take over a planet by himself.
That's true.
That's what I
Oh,
was
so
about to
he's
say.
probably
Because out
upper
of the
rank. He's probably
strongest,
upper
wasn't it
rank.
like another rank of people?
Yeah, he's not the weakest Viltrumite, but
One of
um,
the strongest, though.
yeah.
Right, but like if they all gang, well, they're probably spread thin, so they're probably
And
not
that's
all in.
and
Yeah.
that's also what Alan said, is that the Viltrum, or maybe his dad said that the Viltrum Empire was spread thin, and so that's why they send only one Viltrum to a planet if
I
they
think that
can.
Ellen
Yeah.
said that.
Alan,
Mhm.
Alan the alien, aka the executive producer.
Seth Rogue.
Yeah. But what do y'all think about, so Alex, we already know you're disappointed by everything in this
Oh,
episode and
wait,
you
one more
probably hate the
thing.
show. Go
Alan
ahead.
also said something about the coalition of planets trying to
Yeah,
assemble an army to take on the Viltrumites.
yeah, that'll
And
be
I feel
interesting
like
to
this is
see.
also a good time. Well, I feel like Earth might be, I don't know, headquarters for that or something since Omni Man ain't there. but I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
That's possible.
I think the next season we'll see probably more Alan, probably more of the coalition of planets
I definitely
getting
see
involved.
Cecil. Do you think Cecil might be getting involved in there too?
I'm sure he would.
Cecil,
So
I'm
I
I'm
sure
think,
he
thinking it
will.
would be on
he's
Earth or
scheming.
something.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cecil be scheming. Cecil got his hands in all types of. What y'all think about the white room? Not speaking of Cecil,
Yeah, that shit was dope.
if you drink water, you can't see it.
It's the tap water specifically.
Tap water.
Yeah.
That part was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. I
He's-
like that shit.
He's got shit up
I,
his sleeve.
I fucks with Cecil.
You know,
Oh,
we-
one big disappointment I did have in the episode is obviously
oh my god.
Amber.
Oh, okay, Amber.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Don't worry,
man,
we'll
get
get
it.
to what you we'll get to what
Yeah.
we'll get to what you were thinking about.
No, we don't need to get to what I was thinking about.
We
She
will.
she did
We-
nothing this episode.
Right.
And that's why I'm disappointed. But back to Amber. I don't like how she's just all of a sudden now, oh, now I can look past you lying to me
Being a
about being a superhero.
superhero.
I know I just saw you get your fucking ass beat by your dad for who knows how long it was in the context of the show. It might have been a few minutes, it might have been hours, who knows. But that's what it took for you to like look past that shit. Like you already saw him get his ass beat by a robot man. Like what's really the difference? Like why now? Like that shit
Because it
kind
was
of
his
pissed me off.
dad.
And
I
it's
mean,
worse.
I feel you, but it was his dad. You know, it was probably the worst thing that could happen as a superhero. You just get beat by your superhero dad on TV in front and destroy Chicago in the process. So, you know, she
that
feeling
ass whooping
some.
was on par with the lion dude too. So
Oh yeah.
that was
Yeah.
one of the worst times he got
Oh,
his ass beat.
that was the
Yeah.
biggest L this man has taken. Now that was way worse than what the lion dude did to him.
I want to see more of that lion dude.
Dude,
honestly.
just
We saw him at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
He ain't
yeah.
done.
just seeing like Omni-Man just fucking wail on him like into the mountain. I was just like, yo, this shit is insanity. Like,
Yeah.
Put
And
his
how
ass in
like
the
when
dirt.
he was punching him, and then how like they like scaled outside of the mountain. I was like,
Mhm.
damn, he's getting his ass kicked,
I
man.
loved it. I loved it.
Man, I definitely
One thing
felt
about
bad
this
for Mark,
show-
honestly.
One thing that I really enjoy about the show, like the fight scenes are always like pretty dope, really unique in my opinion too. Like we talked about that train scene earlier. Like I've never seen anything like that in my life. Like
No, that
just
was
being
new.
held hostage in like a train, just like destroying it by doing nothing. Like my mind was blown. I was like, I'm standing so hard for that shit.
I swear to God. I
Um,
remember before the episode dropped, the Invincible Twitter, the official Invincible Twitter, they're like, you might think you're ready, but you're not. And I was like, there ain't shit I ain't seen. I've seen it all. What you talking about? And then I watched the episode. I was like, they were 100% right because I was not ready for that shit. I never thought, like, I knew there would be like maybe I thought that Omni-Man and Mark would fight, but I never expected him to just like wail on him, like just destroy him for the entire episode. Never expected anything like that.
Don't listen.
Don't listen, Mark.
We was kings.
We was oh, that's funny.
That's gonna be the.
Think Mark.
Oh,
You gotta
man.
put that as the cover for the episode.
I'm gonna put that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Think Mark.
Yeah, you know that shit's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the highlight of the episode, but it was only half of the episode.
Mhm.
The other half was sort of aftermath. You know,
Yeah.
Mark's social life, Amber, William, and Eve. You know, all getting close and sort of becoming a little friend group, basically, and
He
you know,
revealed
knowing
her
each other's
identity.
knowing their identities. Guardians
I
of
don't
the
know why you
Globe.
couldn't tell it was her.
Yeah,
She didn't wear a
Right.
fucking mask.
yeah, she doesn't even wear a mask.
Didn't they?
Um,
I can't remember correctly, but didn't they like not care when she revealed who she was?
Well, they didn't know who she was.
They thought she was
mistook
Duplicate.
her- Yeah, they thought
Oh,
she was.
Yeah.
She
They're
could
like,
never
"No,
be.
another one."
She could never be duplicate.
Shut up, Eric.
She could never be duplicate. Those are some big shoes to fill. Please
Duplicate is a side character.
watch out, dude. Don't disrespect her like that.
She can't
She's
keep up
Duplicate.
with the fast movements. That's how you know she a side character.
But yeah, did y'all like the ending sequence where they like
Showed everything
showed up?
else.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
Alex, they went back to the Mars thing with all those
I saw
little
that.
squid things. That was a part of it. Did they
they
show Black
showed
Rock?
Battle Beast. They showed Battle Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Battle Beast was he in prison or is he just fighting some alien somewhere? And then they showed Titan, not Black Rock, but Titan. Still.
Potato.
They showed that woke superhero that destroyed Mount
Doc
Rushmore.
Seismic
Oh,
and
Doc
Go
Magnemite.
back to him
Doc-
too.
Yeah.
And he has like an army of little
I knew he wasn't dead. I knew it.
lava things.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I fucks with
he's
Doc
dope.
Seismic.
I do too.
The
I'd fight for
The
him.
woke villain.
I
They
definitely
show-
fight for him.
they showed the dude making more of those like
Those robots.
robot human
Yeah,
things
the
that
robot human
Oh,
things.
D.A. Sinclair. Yeah.
DA Sinclair.
Those
They
things are
showed-
strong.
Those things are strong, yeah. I mean, not strong enough to like do anything against Omni-Man, but
They can
definitely
beat
fucked
Mark's
up.
ass.
Strong enough
Yeah,
to be
definitely
Mark.
fucked up. But who
Beat
hasn't
the
at
fuck
this
out of
point?
Mark, yeah.
Who hasn't? You know what I mean?
Honestly, I'm surprised they ain't show Rex Explode beating the shit out of Mark.
They
his
would
man
never.
takes-
That'd be a rap. That'd be Rex Flo's show at that point.
Rexplode instead of
Rexplode.
Invincible on that title.
Oh my god, Rex Explode. Rex Explode fucking sucks.
Yeah, he does.
big
But I
time.
did like that moment at towards the end of the episode when they wiped the blood off. Alex, you didn't like it?
No, I thought it was corny.
Oh my god.
Yo, they're a team now.
I like
know
the
what I'm
corny
saying?
stuff. I like the corny stuff.
Guardians of the Globe,
Mhm.
you know, they're finally getting along. They didn't really do a whole lot except clean up Chicago at the end, but
yeah.
you know, they making moves, they getting ready.
Teamwork, Alex.
And
What the
also
fuck? Go ahead.
the Immortal is alive still. So
He
we have
is?
that to look forward to. Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed
gathered
his pup-
pieces up.
Yeah,
Where is
Put them
he?
back together.
Where
they,
is
they showed his
Where is
pupils
Where's
dilating.
Omni-Man? I'll kill you.
The Mama
I'll
twins,
kill you.
the Mama twins take so many L's, but I fuck with them so
I
much.
love the
man.
Mahler twins.
They
I
just be
love
making
them
break out
all.
again.
moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always
They're
scheme.
they're definitely gonna break out.
Robot's gonna have some other shisty shit, I'm sure.
The
Oh,
Mahler
yeah.
twins are like the city girls, always scamming and scheming.
Shit. What were we talking about before the Mahler? Before damn, I can't remember. But yeah, I like how they did all those callbacks. That was pretty.
I think so
dope.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm just gonna graduate high school, and he's like, oh, okay. You know, because Mark,
What's high school?
yeah,
That boy
Mark's
better
still
join
young,
that
man.
soup kitchen.
He's a child. Yeah.
I
wonder if
you
he-
just want him to be in the soup kitchen
Hey
so
man,
bad.
he tired. He tired of getting his ass beat, or should be.
It
He
makes me
should be.
wonder if next season he's gonna be an adult, or if he's gonna stay like a kid.
Maybe in college or
stay
something
high
like
school.
that.
Yeah.
No, he's going to college, I think.
Oh,
'cause he's-
cool.
He's pretty much done with high school, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It seemed like
so-
he was at the end of his high school career.
yeah. So I feel like next season he'll be in college, you know, probably more tumultuous relationships with Amber.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully a better girlfriend.
Hopefully somebody better.
Hopefully he upgraded.
Man,
I-
y'all
I
don't
know-
even want to know what happens to this.
I know
one.
who would be better, but we ain't
Please.
gotta talk.
No.
Please. Please.
Hey, hey, you want me to tell you? You want me to tell you what happens to your girl?
No, don't.
Yes.
Don't tell me. Don't tell
Tell
me.
me.
'Cause First off, I
Yeah,
already
kill her.
know she thrives. I already know that. If there's one thing Duplicate does is she gets the fuck out of there.
This nigga.
Man, what the fuck are you even? You don't know what you're talking about, man.
What the fuck?
Eric, you so fucking stupid.
Oh shit.
Hey, Eric, man, we gonna start potting with your kids, man. We'll take their takes more than yours.
Oh shit. Shouts out Duplicate. You know she's a centerpiece of this show.
Hey, shouts out
Yeah.
Devon.
Shouts out to the Immortal, man, and fuck Chet Hanks.
Shouts out to the Immortal.
Yeah, fuck Chet Hanks.
Fuck Chet Hanks. Let's get into ratings.
Okay. Yeah, it's time.
Marcus, what did you rate this young guap boy?
I'm gonna give it 9.5 because that shit was hot. I thought it was a pretty good balance because after that Chicago, I didn't need Chicago level gore the whole time, so it was just kind of nice how it sort of like tapered off, and then I feel like all season finales kind of have to have their big moment and then sort of wrap up because people have been waiting for this moment, and then they also like if it would have just ended with Mark being found on the mountain, it would have been fucked up. And I think they did a
That would
good
have pissed me
job.
off.
Yeah, exactly, because then it's just like, man, that's it, like what happens next? um we know that Omni-Man left the solar system. We know the what's going on with all the little side characters and his personal relationships. So I think it did all of that like really well. And on top of, the crazy long ass fight scene between father and son that, leveled the city and, drove a rift between the Grayson household. Like, yeah, it was a solid episode. 9.5 for sure.
I feel bad for the mom.
Debbie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Debbie.
She's about to be an alcoholic.
Yeah. Alex, what do you think? What was your rating of this episode?
I'd probably give it like an 8, honestly.
Hey,
Yeah, nigga, an 8. Because I gave episode 9 a 9. So to me, this episode is not better than that last episode. So I would give it an 8, maybe an 8.
Okay.
I'd say 8.5.
All right.
8.5. While I did like the beginning or the first half where his dad and Mark were just fighting a lot, it got kind of, I didn't really care about all the outside drama like Will and Amber. Like I didn't really care for all that stuff like the second half. So that's why, I mean, I get it. Like kind of what Marcus said, you kind of have to like tie it up and get people excited for the next season. And it kind of reminded me of like a Game of Thrones ending almost, because I feel like with Game of Thrones, like episode 9 was always like the most chaotic episode of the season.
Yeah.
And then you get to the season
That's
finale,
fucking true.
it's
That's a good
but
point.
it's
That's
not
a
as
really
good as
good point.
Yeah, it's not as good as the previous episode. So, and Snowfall is like that too, honestly. Like the last episode of Snowfall this year, like season 9 was really, or season episode 9 was really, yeah. And then the season finale was like kind of lackluster, but they're building onto the next season. So 8.5.
I like that format.
Yeah, I just wish there was a little bit more violence or more, I don't know,
More deaths.
More violence, please.
But I did like the callbacks to like all the previous villains, stuff like that. So I want to see how that's going to play into the next season, going forward.
What's BlackRock up to? X, what was your rating, bro?
I'm giving a solid 9.5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
The action was there for me. The gore was there for me. The dialogue was great. I'm with Marcus. They wrapped it up really well, tied it with a nice bow. They left you with the season finale, like they tied it off really well at the end, so you don't know what's coming, but it has you wanting more for next season. That train as a subway scene just for me was like one of the most craziest things I've ever seen in an animated series, man. So that alone for me just did it for me. So yeah, I said 9.5. It was crazy.
Gotcha. Day rating.
I agree with Marcus and X. I thought they tied it up pretty well. I'm gonna give this one a 10 though. I gotta give at least one episode a 10. They put in this one.
They put their blood, sweat, and tears. Mark's blood, sweat, and tears.
A 10. That train scene alone deserves a 10.
Hey, Davon, you falling off,
I swear.
Damn.
Damn. Alex woke up and chose.
Honestly, Davon might be right. It might be a 10. It might be a 10.
So 9 could have been a 10, not this one.
I mean,
this episode was closer to a 10 than the last one.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
And then I like the reveal. That was my prediction anyway, like them kind of being sand. So yeah, I like that aspect of it too. And just seeing Mark getting his ass beat across the world.
Across the world. International L's.
Getting smacked.
And then I thought him trying to like save the people from the building falling, I feel like that'll, I don't know, affect them some way. in the upcoming seasons too. They'll
A lot of people died.
A better hero or something.
That's something I want to see. I want to see the effects of thousands of people dying. Like, I don't want them to just write that off as, oh yeah, all these people died. But I want there to be like, even if it's like in the background of the next season where you're seeing like a bunch of like memorials or a bunch of like there, I feel like there has to be something. I don't want them to just cop out and be like, oh yeah, sure, a bunch of people died, but you know, back to fucking Mark in high school. Like, no, that shit has to change. Something like that happened has to change something.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
also change everyone involved.
Exactly.
You know, like the heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're just seeing the inevitable consequences of if there were superheroes living amongst normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point too, is in a world where I'm not saying like a Chicago style event where thousands are dead happens a lot, but like I mean we saw that the Flaxons came in and I think they said several hundred died from that. So it will be interesting to see how the world reacts, like Eric said, because you know, obviously to us that's really traumatic. But if it happens in a superhero universe, is it going to be as traumatic as you might think? I don't think so, because the Flaxons came in, killed 100 people, and that was that. Maybe the Chicago being like a lot higher of a death toll will mean that it'll be a more substantial event within the universe, but who's to say? You know, Eric, what's your rating?
True. I would rate this episode a 10. And
okay,
so not because not
Alex?
exactly because I liked it a lot better than oh my god. You're a fucking child.
I know.
But yeah, not exactly because I liked it more than the last episode. I think they were, for me, they were on par with each other. But will give this episode a 10 because it's a good ending to me. I think I felt really satisfied with the ending. I don't think they pretty much tied up all their loose ends. They opened it to where, you know, we're looking forward to the next season, but we're not like waiting on anything. We're not waiting on anything like say Mark just like they say they did just like find Mark on the mountain at the end, and that was the end of the episode.
Ambiguous ending.
It wasn't an ambiguous ending.
It wasn't a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I would have been so fucking upset with the cliffhanger, but I really like the ending.
Wasn't like Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the fucking god of cliffhangers.
Dude, they are so bad at
that. My god.
And you know, one thing to help play into that is the fact that in a lot of the first season of shows, they don't necessarily know if the show is going to continue beyond that.
True.
And so in a lot of ways, in order to make an effective first season, you have to leave it so that there's not going to be a whole bunch of cliffhangers. If it's like a show that they don't know is going to be going for 2 to 3 seasons, right? Like they only found out that this was going to have a 2 and season 3 after I think halfway through the season. So they made 8 episodes, and I think you're right. You know, they did a good job sort of finishing this arc. You know, this is like a definitive end.
With that in mind, it makes sense as to why it ended like this. Like if they weren't sure, this could be a one shot. Like it could have easily just been a one shot, like just one season, and that was it. And I feel like I would have been satisfied with that. Of course, I would have been wanting more, but I think I would have been satisfied with this just as a standalone season. I think Avatar, Legend of Korra, they kind of fell victim to that, to where they kind of wrapped it up in the ending of the first season, and then they got signed on for another season after that one was over, so they had to basically come up with some new shit. Or you know,
and with Korra was such an interesting that was such an interesting show because Nickelodeon never really knew what they were doing with Korra. You know, they're like, all right, we're gonna revive Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then they did season 1, and then season 2 was like a whole new take, and they went other places. And even season 3 of Korra was like, that felt like the end, and then there was another. And like I think a lot of times it's such a weird thing now with the way that we consume. You good?
Yep.
And then mute your mic when you got a call.
I don't know how to mute it. I don't know how to mute it that quickly.
But
button.
Oh, hey.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah,
I started this
pod,
podcast,
man.
shit.
That's the pod, bro. Signing off.
That is the pod. Yeah.
Big ups to X Dub.
Hey, wait.
What's
One more
about to
thing.
say? Yeah, what's Dave about to say?
Alex, you can go first. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask what you got to say. Like that's all.
So, okay. But was that whole thing broadcast so the whole world knows Viltrumites are coming?
The whole world, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we don't know. Wait, what? Oh,
wait. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the fight?
They
helicopters.
Know that he got his ass beat.
Yeah, but the helicopters don't. They only got like the first part, right? They didn't follow the carnage in Chicago and then the mountain. So they know that Omni-Man fucked up Invincible, but I don't know if the people know the extent of Omni-Man's treachery.
But when they were fighting the kaiju, so I wondered did they pick up all that audio when he told them about what Viltrumites are, so that the people know.
Well, that was
Earth is going to be
Cecil's.
taking over.
That was Cecil's audio, so Cecil for sure knows, but I don't know if the news knows.
Yeah, I doubt they'll release that to the public. That's probably isolated with Cecil. Why would they do that? That would just cause hysteria.
Would you not want to know?
Would you not want to know why Chicago got destroyed?
Of course, I would want to know.
The people would want to know why Chicago got destroyed. Like,
I'm sure they're
gonna have to come up with something.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like they'll probably end up lying about it. Or like
I doubt they're gonna tell them the truth.
Yeah.
And then they see old boy get killed again by Omni-Man.
Oh, the Immortal?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Bro, chop that man in half.
Where is he? I fucks with the Immortal.
I do
Me too.
It's like pure rage.
The world is going to be skeptical of
Eric,
now.
Eric, just you wait. You really gonna fuck with the Immortal soon.
Maybe they might be skeptical of all superheroes at this point too, because they might not know who to trust. Like,
I was kind of wondering that too. Like, is there gonna be a superhero fallout?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
That'll be interesting.
I don't know, but when they was having lunch or whatever, and Mark was like, "Can we talk about something else?" And he was like, "Literally, this is all that anybody's talking about. So who knows what they know?" So
yeah,
true. But yeah, that's the first season of our podcast, y'all. We ending it. I think I speak for all of us. We really enjoyed watching Invincible, and coming here to talk about it has been pretty fucking dope. Next season, we will be talking about the animated Netflix series Yasuke, a Japanese American original net anime series loosely based on the historical figure of the same name. It looks pretty dope. I think I've watched one episode so far, so I'm coming into this one new. I've only watched one episode, so
me too.
I'm gonna follow the episodes as we progress in the podcast. Marcus, you've only watched one episode as well? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Y'all haven't watched any, have y'all?
I haven't watched a single episode.
I haven't watched any.
Okay, it looks fucking dope. I honestly can't wait to get into it. But other than that, y'all can follow our official podcast Twitter. I believe it's let me
Probably
see
tapped in.
Tapped in pod. Tapped in podcast Twitter. Go ahead, go follow us for updates, and also we've been dropping the video recordings of our the video recordings of our new Zoom meetings. So y'all can go and watch that on YouTube. What's the YouTube?
Podcast formerly known as Tapped In on YouTube.
Just go ahead and search that. You can see our stupid fucking faces and enjoy that. I think it adds a little bit more of the comedic element. But yeah.
And big ups to X though. Big ups to X Dub.
Big ups to X. Thanks for coming
on to
through,
the pod
bro.
today, and
thanks for having me, boys.
And providing his takes on J. Cole.
Always welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're always welcome on the pod, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
That's
Fuck
the
Chet
pod, man.
Hanks.
Hey
That's
man,
the
Fuck
shout out,
him.
pod,
shout out to
bro.
Maury Raw or Maul and Roy.
Shouts out to Rory.
Oh, shout out to Rory and Maul, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
free them. Free them
Joe,
from
you a skis ball.
I want my 400K.
Hey,
Is there a Mary
Hey,
hat?
y'all should
Hey.
look up the Afion Crockett like Joe Budden impression of him like firing them. It's fucking funny, dude.
my
Afion
God.
Oh my
Crockett
god.
Afion Crockett is having some funny shit lately. He's been quiet for a while, but recently he was making fun of that Kevin Samuels dude.
I saw that. Yeah, I
that
saw
shit is
that.
fucking hilarious,
The-
dude.
Him and Spice Adams were making fun of Kevin
Yeah,
Samuels
oh my
versus
God.
Dr. Umar.
Dude.
That shit's funny as fuck.
I fucking love Spice Adams. That dude is hilarious.
Spice is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned to episode 9 with our first episode on Yasuke. And who knows what the fuck our topic is gonna be. We ain't figured it out yet. Something might
I'm
happen.
gonna pick something. It's
by
gonna be
then. Yeah, we
crypto.
Oh, crypto.
We
Is
can
that
do
what
that.
it's gonna be?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
Dogecoin.
yeah. The
Yeah.
first topic is gonna be the state of cryptocurrency, which might be different from what it is today. In the first episode of Yasuke. All right, y'all. Tap in and peace.
Peace.